The builders of India's heritage. Aryabhatta, a radical genius. India's first satellite, which went into the space last year, was named Aryabhatta after the great astronomer of the 5th century. Modern scholars recognize the fact that Aryabhatta has greatly influenced astronomical and mathematical thoughts all over the world through the centuries. Ancient Greece referred to him as Arduvarius, and Arabs called him Arjavas. And there was a time when his theories were frequently discussed by the scholars of India. Al-Biruni, the Arab savant who travelled in India about 1,000 years ago, mentions of Aryabhatta several times in his work. At one place, he writes in the book of Aryabhatta of Kusumapura, we read that the mountain Meru is in Himavat, the cold zone, not higher than a yojana. This shows how Aryabhatta had measured mountains on the basis of certain formulae he had evolved. Yet so little is known about him, a great genius though he was. He did not leave behind him any account of his life and his quest. However, we know that he was born in AD 476. India is still observing his 1500th birth anniversary through discussions on his theories by eminent scholars. His birthplace was Kusumapura, adjacent to the city of Patna, called Padaliputra in olden days. Some think that he was a contemporary of Varahamihira, the renowned astronomer and mathematician of King Vikramaditya's court. Vikramaditya was a great patron of scholars. He had gathered in his court 9 foremost geniuses of his time, famous a Navaratna or the 9 gems. The illustrious group included Kalidasa, the immortal poet. If Aryabhatta was not counted among the gems, it was perhaps because his views were too radical to be accepted by his famous contemporaries. No doubt Varahamihira has contradicted some ideas of Aryabhatta. But most probably Aryabhatta lived before Varahamihira and the 9 gems came to prominence. In any case, it would not have been easy for Aryabhatta to gain immediate recognition. Not only were his ideas much ahead of his time, but also he pronounced them while he was young. In fact, his book Aryabhattiya was written when he was 23 years old. Yet the book abounds in profound ideas. It contains his astronomical observations and his device for measuring time intervals between the meeting of two planets moving in opposite or the same directions, among other things. The work states the rules for the summation of natural squares and cubes. His contribution to the theory of numbers is great. As a Russian scholar said recently, he was the first in the world literature to formulate very elegant methods of integer solutions of indeterminate equations of the first degree. Remarkable too were his ideas in geometry. He defines the area of a triangle as the product of the height multiplied by a half of the base and the area of a circle as a half of the circle's length multiplied by a half of the diameter. These are only few of his formulations which went a long way in shaping the world thought in these subjects. It is not difficult to imagine the young Aryabhatta seated in the open, surrounded by nature's bounty, meditating on the problems of astronomy and mathematics. He had some worthy disciples who listened to him with a sincere interest, for it appears from the style of his book that what written down were only a series of supplementary notes to what the young master had orally stated. Thank you so much. Support us by subscribing our channel.